from Los Angeles, and welcome to Stock Market Today. Today is Tuesday, January 14th, and on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at JPMorgan, RH, as well as Insulet. But first, we need to take a look at the major indexes, Ed, because we did finish the session narrowly mixed. The Dow up about 0.1%, while the NASDAQ and S&P 500 down about 0.2% each after spending a little bit of the day in positive territory. But what are your thoughts as we just continue to climb and climb and climb?
Yeah, all major indexes hit new highs today. One thing is that at the lows, even in the NASDAQ, well, it stayed down 0.5 percentage point. But some of the growth stocks that have really been running up had bigger losses. And it's just a reminder that, look, we're well above the 50-day line, especially on like the NASDAQ. We could have a pullback to the 21-day line or even the 50-day line. And, some of those growth stocks could have, some significant pullbacks. So,
right.
We've been talking about IBD Live the last few days about hedging or maybe weeding out your weaker stocks. And so that's just something to keep in mind. Everything looks great right now, but the more we go up, the more we could have and be at risk of a pullback. Though, maybe we'll just keep on going for a while. It doesn't,
Yeah, that's why we have to pay attention to the market signals as they come, and as investors be prepared for those different scenarios. So like you mentioned on IBD Live, we'll get a little bit more into that at the end so you can check out some of these investing strategies given the current market conditions for yourself. But for now, let's take a look at JPMorgan, which ended the day up over 1% in heavy volume. And we're going to be taking a look at a weekly chart here, and JPMorgan reporting strong earnings and revenue. So this sending shares higher, rebounding off of that 10-week line.
Yeah, it's already been extended for a while. It's had a nice run. And, bank stocks don't tend to have long runs. They sometimes outperform for a few months, and the economy is looking better because of the China trade deal. Interest rate spreads have widened. But you could argue, has the easy money been picked over already? But it is rebounding from the 10-week line, not the most exciting move, a little over 1%, but that would provide a buying opportunity. But investors should be aware that, that over the long run, bank stocks have tended to move in line with the S&P or even lag a little bit. JPMorgan is one of the better performers. So this question, after a 3-month rally or so, can they keep going a lot further? Maybe they can, but it's just something to keep in mind.
Yes, definitely something to keep in mind as we pivot our attention to RH, which gained about 3.6% today. This is also going to be a weekly chart. We're taking a look at a nice rebound here, continuing a rebound actually after yesterday's session off of the 10-week, breaking a downtrend here. Now this one moved really big on earnings, but pulled back pretty quick. Still managing to hold above the 10-week line, though. Yeah,
it's been really, really strong. We normally say the first or second pullback to the 50-day, 10-week line is actionable. Now, arguably, this is the third pullback. It's a little bit depending on how you look at it. So that would say just, well, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. However, it's sort of like a tea bag. It's sort of like it's been in the tea. You're using the tea bag too many times. It's getting a little weaker the third time, so it's not as strong. However, breaking the downtrend provides some kind of like a little bit of honey. It's a little bit sweeter now. Maybe you can buy it, but it's more of a situation, I'd say, for people to add shares through an existing positions, a few shares, or maybe to do a swing trade, but not to build a long-term position. After this week, there will be a new base. So
that's a good point.
It's not that this is the only time you would ever have to buy this. So it's just something to keep in mind. It's acting very well, though.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, this is based on our years and years of research looking at all the biggest stock moves. So that's why we have these rules in place to help us with some of these decisions. But nonetheless, a very strong move off of the 10-week for RH. And rounding it out with a look at Insulet, the ticker there is PODD, P-O-D-D. Now, PODD is nearing a potential buy point from a flat base. Now, the structure of this base, I'd say, is pretty solid. It seems like a pretty nice and tight base.
Yeah, and this is a daily chart. It's right below that buy point. It rebounded from the 50-day and 10-week line, so it's actionable right now based off of that, though you could certainly wait to go another 0.5 percentage point to get above the buy point. Yeah, this is like really well. It's a sort of base-on-base pattern, or I'm not sure if it technically qualifies. I don't know what the percentage gain, but after a big breakout in November off of strong earnings, they presented today at the JPMorgan Healthcare Conference. I don't think they said anything game-changing. It's just, but this has been really positive. Appears here, Dexcom, which is also in the diabetes product space. That one also had a bullish rebound about a week ago, and it's actually in a buy zone. But just a lot of nice action. This is obviously, sadly, a growth field, diabetes here in America and around the world. So some innovative products and ways to help treat that. And this is a way to get in on that.
Yeah, that's right. And as we've been saying, the medical products industry group has produced a lot of really strong names, and Insulet in particular. I mean, the annual earnings estimates for this thing in the triple digits for this year and next. So that is pretty compelling.
Yes.
All right, everyone, that's it for today. But before we go, a few quick announcements. We will have a webinar next week on Wednesday with our very own Chris Gessel and Justin Nielsen, happening at 11:30 a.m. Pacific, all about the IBD 50 and how you can profit from stocks, as well as the IBD 50 ETF. So make sure you check that out at investors.com/webinar. And IBD Live. We are just so excited about that, and it's really putting all of our actionable insights to work in real time. And right now, one of the big things is looking at these strategies, given that we are in a bull that just keeps running.
Yeah, I mean, we've actually talked about some of the hedging strategies or pairing those things. It's just really important. It's like, you're going to get excited, you want to take advantage, but you also got to be ready for like the rain that's going to come as well.
Yeah, that's right. So to check out IBD Live, make sure you head to investors.com/IBD Live for all the details on that. And you can also reach out to us on Twitter with any of your questions. Both Ed and I are on Twitter, IBD_eCarson, at Alyssa Coram. So make sure you tweet us about any of your questions. We would be happy to chat with you. All right, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.